Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have a 2026 Subaru Outback. We'll look at the interior, exterior, some of the trim level specifics, then go for a spin around, see what it's like out on the road. Okay, so now we're behind the wheel of the 26 Outback, and this is the premium trim level. So there's going to be about 6 different trim levels that can denote which engine option you get or what's included with these trim levels, but there's a lot of pretty great stuff. This being kind of the base model, we just wanted to give you a look at some of the available features, but we'll touch on some other cool stuff that you can get in the new Outback. Now, obviously from the looks on the outside, this was a complete revision for the 26 model year, but a lot of the big changes also took place inside the vehicle. So before we get too much into the weeds, let's put it in drive, we'll go for a spin around. Now, let's begin with what powers the 26 Subaru Outback. So there's going to be 2 different engine options. We've got a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, which is found in the one we have here today. That's going to give you about 180 horsepower. Then you can bump up to the 2.4 liter turbocharged engine, and that's going to give you about 260 horsepower. So you do sacrifice a little bit on the fuel economy side, but you do factor in a little bit more of the fun and the get up and go when you go up to the turbo. Now, with the 6 different trim levels, the premium like we have here today is just kind of the base model trim, but you really wouldn't know it getting inside the vehicle. This one's going to have the star text, the new infotainment screen, and some of the cool features on the outside. I think the premium is a really great starting point, and it only gets nicer from here. Now, on the exterior of the premium, this one will have a kind of gray or titanium colored 18-inch wheel. There's a couple different really cool wheel and tire options, as well as some pretty cool colors. I like this one I have here today. It kind of blends in nicely. It's just sort of the gray with sort of those different titanium color accents. And then as well, we'll have like the black mirror caps and roof rack rails. It gives it kind of a sporty yet understated look. A few other things on the exterior of this vehicle. This one will have roof rack rails up above. I think you can do 200 pounds, but then 800 pounds of static weight on that roof rack. So that means if you're going camping, you got the rooftop tent, you could put the whole family up there and this Subaru will support it. Now, what's great about that, they make a ton of different accessories from Subaru. So whether it's mountain biking, you've got maybe the kayaks up there, there's 100 different ways to configure this roof rack and all the different setups for these Outbacks, and they've only improved upon that more for the 26 model. They've even done some fun little Easter eggs on the back of the vehicle when you have the power tailgate or liftgate open. There's like a little Subaru with different things on top of the roof racks. It's kind of those fun little things that Subaru does because they understand their customers are into the outdoors. I think if we're looking at the wilderness models, Subaru said that 58% of Subaru wilderness owners have a dog. I have a dog. He would be so happy in the backseat of this vehicle as well. And it is just part of that Subaru lifestyle or that Subaru kind of overall brand image, and it really works. Now, a few big changes to this model is going to be the roof height. So if we're jumping onto the inside in the second row, I have so much headroom back there. It is probably some of the most headroom out of any kind of crossover SUV wagon. I was blown away at where I sit comfortably at 6'1" in the driver's seat. I didn't move the seat when I hopped into the back, and I had so much room back there. So really what that translates to, 4 adults, you could easily go on a long road trip. 5, it might get a little bit tighter. But the other big thing, if you got the car seats back there, the little kiddos are gonna be very comfortable and have a lot of room and maybe not kicking the back of your seat as much. But jumping into the rear cargo area, again, this one does have these cool little handles you can pull. So basically that's gonna knock the seats down flat. It's a 60-40 split rear seat, and there's even kind of a hard plastic cover that goes onto the back of the seats. Like I said, Subaru kind of realized you're probably into the outdoors if you're looking at a Subaru, so you don't want to ruin the back of the seats or anything in the vehicle, so it's easy just to throw all your stuff in here and not have to worry about it. Now, there is a little bit of storage underneath the floor of this vehicle as well, or just some of your spare tire tools, but there's little cubbies on each side of the cargo area, and it's actually pretty big. It does give you an immense amount of space. Like I said, they kind of raised up that roofline a little bit. It is just adding quite a bit of interior cargo space to the new Outback. Now, the biggest changes to me inside the vehicle. So on the 26 Outback, you immediately notice the revision to the screen. So we have a full digital gauge cluster here. And again, this is just the base model giving you this equipment, but on the left side of the steering wheel, you can click to go through about 3 different screens. And then you can also go through some of your kind of basic settings, whether it's your average fuel economy, or if you want to check on your tire pressure or what music you're listening to, that is pretty convenient. And then it will also show you some of your safety stuff. So this has the Subaru eyesight technology, which is great because even on the standard model, the eyesight does give you quite a bit of stuff. This is going to have blind spot monitoring. It's also going to have the adaptive cruise control, so you can put that on with the lane departure mitigation or warning system. So you can kind of set that 4, 3, 2, 1 car length distance ahead of you. It's going to keep that distance when you're on the road. Maybe you run up to the cabin, go into a campsite. It is such a great safety feature, and definitely something if you haven't had before, you are definitely going to be having a hard time to give it back up. Now with this infotainment screen, this one is going to be a little bit different layout, but there's no lag anymore. A little bit of lag kicked through some of the older Subaru infotainment screens. This one is so fast. I paired my phone up with Apple CarPlay. You can also do wireless Android Auto in here, wireless Apple CarPlay. So it just makes it so simple that when you're on the road, you're not messing with your phone. There's a little kind of cubby down here, and as if you move up the lineup, there's also going to be wireless charging found there. But it really is just so responsive and so good. And then with the new iOS 26 update, you can actually go to the last screen on the left. That's going to give you your calendar, some of your weather stuff. Just makes it easy to kind of keep track of your pertinent information, like I said in here, or text messaging, Google Maps, Spotify. It's all built into there, and it is an awesome system. So even if you're not using that on the main Subaru screen, you can still kind of look at your music. You can just set it to like a wallpaper showing you the time and the temperature. It's really nice. Like I said, the biggest upgrade to me is definitely this infotainment screen inside, and then it no longer has that lag in the system. It just works so well. Another cool thing in here is the interior treatment. It's kind of like a wool that runs on the dash, the doors, and they also made the door pocket large enough that you can fit one of those big 32-ounce Nalgene's in there, which is pretty nice. Now we have to touch on the seats because I am very comfortable in here. So this is a power seat with lumbar on my side. What else is really nice? These are heated seats for the driver and the passenger. So it's a 3-level heated seat. It's no longer in the infotainment screen. It's a physical button down here. You also have a dual zone climate control. So the front passengers are going to be very comfortable when you're behind the wheel. Like I said, these seats are great. So it's a StarTex material. So it's kind of like a mock leather, but they've used it for a while now. It wears very nicely over time. It's just a great material that's easy to clean and looks pretty cool as well. Now, what about the ride and drive? So, like I said, there you have the 2 different engine options, the turbo and the non-turbo. I was worried it was going to be a little pokey without the turbo, but you know what? You put your foot down and it just kind of winds up and gets you moving along just fine. I think for fuel economy wise, it's 27 mpg combined, or about 31 on the highway. That's pretty awesome mileage. And not to mention, all of these Subaru Outbacks come standard with symmetrical all-wheel drive. So what that means, if you're tackling those Minnesota winters, going to the campsite, doing a little bit of off-roading, this is definitely going to help you out in a pinch. And another thing that's cool right here on the steering wheel, you can put on, you hear the X mode. So what the X mode is going to do is help you get that best possible bite and traction, whether you're maybe hitting a little bit of a trail, not extreme off-roading, but I think it's about 8.7 inches of ground clearance. So this is more than enough to tackle the winter time or any kind of inclement weather that it throws at you. And the all-wheel drive just works so well on these Subarus, yet you're not sacrificing a huge amount of fuel economy in order to get it. But the ride and drive is so comfortable. The Subaru Outback is definitely one of my most recommended vehicles to people because it does kind of give you that German luxury drive experience. It's got a light steering that's not too light, but not too heavy. It tackles the road so well, whether it's that little bit of that ride height that kind of helps you out when you hit those sewer drains or potholes or cracks in the road. It doesn't really upset the vehicle. It just makes it so easy to live with day to day. And that's really a great thing about the Outback. I mean, it's got keyless entry, so when you hop in, you just push the button, you're off and running, your phone pairs up right away. The safety, the tech in here is so good as well now. I think if you've been driving an older Forester or an Outback, or you're looking for something that gives you plenty of style and technology, but you don't want to break the bank, the Outback might be one to consider. So we do have to touch on the pricing. Now, the average new car price in the US is now over $51,000. The Subaru Outback Premium that we have here today, MSRP is going to be right around $37,000. So yes, I get it, it is still expensive, but you're getting a ton of equipment in here. Like I said, most base models aren't going to come with sort of a leather style interior with wireless CarPlay and all the safety and tech built into it, plus great fuel economy. And not to mention, when you shop with Walser, we offer a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. So what that means is you can tackle the roads, the conditions, everything you can get thrown at you without really thinking about it and just keeping up with your scheduled maintenance. I think this is an awesome vehicle. This is a very, very good competitor to maybe if you're driving a Honda, Toyota, Nissan, anything like that, or like I said, an older Subaru and you're just looking to upgrade. I think the Subaru Outback is absolutely one to add to the list to come out, take for a spin, and see what you think. Now that was just a quick look and drive at the 2026 Subaru Outback. Now if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.